One of the most intriguing position battles for the Buffalo Bills this offseason is going to be that cornerback number 2 position. We're going to talk about that and what cornerbacks are going to make the 53-man roster for the Buffalo Bills. Welcome to Believers Talk. My name is Joe, and welcome to another roster breakdown edition of Believers Talk, where we break down the Buffalo Bills' current 90-man roster, and we try to figure out which ones of those will make it to the 53-man roster. Today, in this episode, we're going to talk about that cornerback position. Before we do that, however, I want to remind everyone, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button. Not only do we keep you updated on all Buffalo Bills news, we also keep you updated on the Sabres, the Bisons, the Buttes, and all Buffalo sports. So you want to make sure hit that subscribe button, like this video. Also follow me on Twitter, and don't forget to leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the cornerback position for the Buffalo Bills. Like I said in the intro, that cornerback 2 spot really up for grabs. What is going to happen? So we'll get into this episode, the cornerback edition. Now, again, I am trying to emulate what they did in 2018 for the most part. In 2018, we carried over 5 cornerbacks. If you have been following this, you know that I have us keeping 1 extra wide receiver and not taking 5 defensive ends. I only have us having 4 defensive ends and I think 8 wide receivers. But we are going to see who makes that 53-man roster. We know there are going to be some tough cuts. There's going to be some tough cuts in this cornerback room, guys. Let me tell you what, as we currently have 9 cornerbacks, I'm going to go through the names, tell you what I think of each one of them, give you reasons why they might stay, why they might be released, and then I'll tell you which 5 cornerbacks I was keeping in 2019. So first, we have to get into, obviously, CB1. A guy that we know is pretty much a lock right at the cornerback position. Should have been Rookie of the Year if you ask me. Probably going to make the NFL Top 100 this season. You're talking about Tre'Davius White. Okay, Tre'Davius White, we all know he is Buffalo's #1 lockdown corner. Again, I thought he should have been Rookie of the Year. I'm sure many of you do too. But we know he's making the team. I'm not gonna act like we're not sure about Tre'Davius White. We are sure about Tre'Davius White. Tre'Davius White is due to make $2.75 million this season. Remember, he is on his rookie contract. And I know it's 3 seasons away because we are probably going to sign that 5th-year option for him. But we do have to start considering, this is his 3rd year actually, but we do have to start considering if we're going to re-sign him. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think? In 2 years, 3 years, whatever it is, are we going to re-sign Tre'Davious White? Again, we have some big names coming up after that with Josh Allen, Tremaine Edmonds, Ed Oliver now. Will we re-sign Tre'Davious White? But Tre'Davious White still has rookie deal, $2.75 million due to him this season. In 2018, he had 2 interceptions, 8 pass deflections, and 54 tackles. Now, according to Pro Football Focus, he only allowed 0.68 yards per coverage snap. So any snap he was on the field covering a wide receiver, so pretty much any passing down, he only allowed 0.68 yards on those downs. That's 4th in the NFL amongst cornerbacks. So pretty good job there. 2017, again, 1st-round pick, 27th overall, went to the LSU Tigers. Now, again, remember, we originally had a top 10 pick. We traded back with the Kansas City Chiefs, got their pick in the 2017 draft, or 2018 draft, excuse me, in the 2018 draft, and we know what we did there. But 27th overall pick, we get great value, get Tre'Davious White in the 2017 NFL draft, and he has made a huge impact from the beginning. Remember, this is the #1 pass defense this past season, and we all expect them to stay right on top as the #1 pass defense with these cornerbacks led by Tre'Davious White. But then you go down this list, right? Like I said, cornerback 2, who's it going to be? So I'm going to read through the other 8 guys right now. You got Kevin Johnson, EJ Gaines, Teron Johnson, Lafayette Pitts, Denzel Rice, Ryan Lewis, Levi Wallace, and then Cam Lewis. So those are the names. Some of these guys we just got this year. Talking about Kevin Johnson and EJ Gaines. We get EJ Gaines back. Talk about Cam Lewis, we just drafted, or was undrafted free agent for the Buffalo Bills this season from the University of Buffalo, of course. So some of these guys we just bring in, and they're going to just add to that competition, right? We all think that competition brings out the best, or that's what we want, right? That's what we hope for. Competition is going to bring out the best in these players, and we hope to see that this season. So other than Tre'Davious White, however, none of these guys carry a big dead cap hit. So any of these guys can be released. Any of these guys can be safe. Now, the biggest dead cap hits of the 8 guys remaining, Kevin Johnson with this 400,000. That's what I mean. 400,000 is our next biggest cap hit. Dead cap is probably due the most. He signed a contract on May 11th, 2019 for $2.71 million. So if he makes the team, it's a 1-year, $2.71 million deal. However, the deal is really team friendly, so the Bills can drop him and not be hurt by all that much. Drafted 16th overall by the Houston Texans in 2015. He has had a bit of the injury bug. Okay, 2015, his rookie year, actually plays pretty well for the Houston Texans. However, in 2016, he breaks his foot. 2017, he sprains his MCL, and then 2018, week 1, he suffers a concussion. He's put on the IR for the rest of the season, so that means he's had a lot of time to rest. But what is he going to be like coming back into the NFL, trying to get back into game shape for the start of the NFL season? Now, we know this guy's ceiling is high, right? Kevin Johnson, first round draft pick, so we know his ceiling's high. However, you look at that and you say he hasn't played a game since week 1 in 2018. I think a lot about Le'Veon Bell, how he's going to come back to the New York Jets after being off for a season. Same thing going on with this guy here, Kevin Johnson. You wonder, what is he going to come back to? How is he going to do? Try and get back into football shape. So we have Kevin Johnson, EJ Gaines. In 2017, EJ Gaines had a great season, or at least good season, for the Buffalo Bills as a corner. Then he goes to Cleveland for a year. Now he's back with the Buffalo Bills, signed a 1-year, $1.78 million deal. In 2018, he only played in 6 games, had 2 starts, had 1 interception, 3 pass deflections, and 13 tackles. He was placed on IR after he suffered 2 concussions in 3 weeks. So you look at Kevin Johnson, you look at EJ Gaines, and you say, they're coming off of serious concussions. What are they going to be like? But if you continue to go down this list, you realize that we just picked those 2 guys up. Last year, we were the #1 pass defense with a lot of these guys that are behind him, right? Teron Johnson, picked up in the 4th round in 2018 by the Buffalo Bills. Last year, 42 tackles, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble. Now, he did have that shoulder injury, placed on IR in December, but really filled in nicely, rotating in as a CB2, CB3 type guy. Then look at Lafayette Pitts. A lot of people like Lafayette Pitts. 216 undrafted free agent, signed by the Miami Dolphins, signed with Buffalo October 25th of 2017. Really, I like Lafayette Pitts mostly for his special teams abilities, and that might be why he makes this team. You look at him on the field last year, I think he only had 9. He had less than 10 tackles on defense last season, so he really didn't fill in too much, but still a good rotational piece that you can have in there. You look at Denzel Rice. Denzel Rice was an undrafted free agent in 2015, picked up by the Eagles, has played for the Eagles, Texans, Colts, Browns, and now the Bills. I was put on the Bills active roster December 4th of 2018, so just last season. Spent some time on the practice squad. Wouldn't be surprised to see him back there, although I think being a 2015 draft pick, that means he is no longer eligible to be on the practice squad. So you have Denzel Rice. Ryan Lewis went to Pitt, was a 2017 undrafted free agent, played in 7 games in 2018, started 3 of those games, had 15 tackles for our Buffalo Bills. You go Levi Wallace, another guy that a lot of people like. 7 games, started 3, and had 37 tackles. I think he played really well coming out of Alabama, and I think he did a good job at that cornerback 2 spot when we weren't sure who was going to take it over. Now, does that mean he's good enough for this team, right? I just went through a whole list of players that might be able to outshine him. So we have to be very careful not to equate last year's numbers with this year's results, right? Last year was last year. This is a completely different team now. You're talking about picking up Kevin Johnson. You're talking about picking up EJ Gaines. Those guys might solidify that CB2 position like we wanted Vontae Davis to do last year, which was just a mess for those of you who followed the Bills last season, of course. But we did like Levi Wallace's production last season, and we hope to see the same thing, same strides from him this season. We'll see that during training camp and then into the preseason. Then you have Cam Lewis. Again, like I said, Cam Lewis out of the University of Buffalo, picked up 2 undrafted free agents from the University of Buffalo. Of course, we pick up their quarterback Tyree Jackson, and here we pick up Cam Lewis out of Buffalo. Very athletic guy, lengthy guy. Again, possibly going to make this team as a special teams type guy, as he played special teams for Buffalo as well. So we'll look to see if he can make it on the special team. So again, in 2018, we carried over 5 cornerbacks. Again, like I said, we're obviously going to carry over Tre'Davious White, right? So that's going to be our number 1 corner. There's no surprise there. Like I said, probably should have been Rookie of the Year in 2017. In fact, I think Pro Football Focus ranked him as their Defensive Rookie of the Year. And then in 2018, he does a pretty good job. A lot of people say he took a step back, but his reputation was already out there. Like I said, 0.68 yards per covered snap, 4th amongst cornerbacks last season. And I believe he was in the top 5 as far as how many times he was targeted as a cornerback as well last season. So those are good numbers. I expect those numbers to continue to increase, continue to get better as he continues to improve, as he continues to read pro-style offenses. He'll continue to get better. But as you look down this list, again, I would not be really surprised to see some of these names make it, and I wouldn't be surprised to see really any of these names not make it. Again, we're not hurting ourselves too much with dead caps here. Like I said, the second most after Tre'Davious White, the most actually, is Kevin Johnson with a $400,000 cap hit if he does not make the team. So you're talking about a couple thousand this whole way down, and then from Lafayette, Pitts, Denzel Rice, Ryan Lewis, Levi Wallace, and then Cam Lewis, there's no dead cap hit if they don't make the team. So we have Tre'Davious White as 1. Who do I think is going to be cornerback number 2? I know that's where you guys are interested. Let me know in the comment section below. Who do you think is going to be cornerback 2? Do you think Levi Wallace did a good enough job last season to maintain that? Or do you think Kevin Johnson or E.J. Gaines will step up and take that mantle? Now, with Kevin Johnson, I think it's going to be a little difficult, right? You're talking about a guy, even if he shows up, even if he shows out during training camp, during preseason, you're still talking about a guy who missed pretty much a whole season last year. So he's not going to be in the greatest football shape. We'll see if he makes the team, but I think it's going to be really tough for him to be ready to be a cornerback 2 right away. Maybe during the regular season, maybe after a few games in the regular season, he takes over that CB2 spot. Because again, like I said, his potential, his ceiling, I think, is pretty high. But right now, we have to lower our expectations as he has missed football for pretty much a whole season. So, saying that, I think that E.J. Gaines is going to be our cornerback number 2 to start the 2019 NFL season. I think E.J. Gaines, like I said, did a great job for us in 2017 at that CB2 spot. I think he will solidify that position, but still, don't be surprised if you see a rotation of some sort between him and another guy out of the 5 that we keep at that quarterback position. So, number 1, I have Tre'Davious White. Number 2, I have E.J. Gaines. Number 3, I still like Levi Wallace. You have to like what Levi Wallace did last season for us. Again, coming from Alabama, you know he has a good coaching tree in Alabama, and we know that our coaches, between Leslie Frazier and Coach McDermott, can coach him up on defense. We know that we have defensive-minded coaches, so I truly believe that, no matter who you put in the cornerback position, they're going to do a decent job for our Buffalo Bills just because of the coaching they have behind them. So if you bring in a cornerback and you put him in the right situation, he's going to succeed. And I think for most cornerbacks in the NFL, the Buffalo Bills have the right situation. That's why I think we have the number 1 pass defense. I think when it comes to having the number 1 anything, it's a mixture of both the players. So you have to have the right players, but it's also the coaching. They mesh well together, and I think that's what we look forward to. That's what we're excited about to start this 2019 season. We have a great pool of cornerbacks to choose from, and we know that they can all succeed in this defense. So I have Trey White as the number 1, E.J. Gaines as our number 2, and then I have Levi Wallace filling out that slot cornerback position to help out this team when needed. He might play a rotation with E.J. Gaines. As far as the other 2 guys at corner that I have making this team, making the opening day roster, I do see Kevin Johnson making this team, again, just because his potential is so high, right? Now, again, the injuries scare you, but none of them, unlike Tyler Kroft, which we talked about in the tight end episode, none of them have been the same injury. They've all kind of been freak incidences here, right? Broken foot in 2016, sprained MCL in 2017, or broken foot in 2016, sprained MCL in 2017, then concussion last year. So I do see him making the team, and he has pretty much had a year off to recoup from those injuries and to get his legs out from under him again. Unfortunately, like I say, he has missed a year, so he's maybe not quite in football shape, but that ceiling's too high to not let him be on this 53-man roster. We do sign him to 1 year, $2.71 million in March, so there's a reason for that. So I think he is going to be CB4. And like I said, I would not be surprised to see if Kevin Johnson does at one point in the season go take over that CB2 spot. Actually, we hope for that, because that means he's excelling and hopefully reaching that potential that the Houston Texans saw in him when he was a first-round draft pick in 2015. And then the fifth guy I have making this team is going to be Taron Johnson. Again, fourth-round pick by the Buffalo Bills last season. Had 42 tackles before he was placed on the IR. As long as that shoulder is holding up nicely, then I think we are going to see Taron Johnson in at that fifth as our fifth cornerback. And again, I wouldn't be surprised to see him as our slot corner. He did pretty well at the slot corner last season for our Buffalo Bills. So those are the 5 cornerbacks I have us keeping. Again, Tre'Davious White, EJ Gaines, Levi Wallace, Kevin Johnson, then Taron Johnson. That means I do not see Lafayette Pitts, Denzel Rice, Ryan Lewis, or Cam Lewis making this team. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you agree with that assessment? Do you think that EJ Gaines will be our CB2, or do you think that Levi Wallace will step up in training camp, in preseason, and say, hey, this is my job, no one's taking it from me? Let me know in the comment section below. Again, thank you for joining me. Hit that subscribe button, guys. Again, we're going to keep covering all Buffalo sports. We're going to continue with the roster breakdown with the safeties, and then we have to go into special teams, and then we'll look at that full 53-man roster, and I'll let you guys judge it for yourself and let me know what you think of our 53-man roster. We'll see how it happens, and we'll do it live here on Believers Talk as we do live play-by-play reaction for the Buffalo Bills during the regular season. Looking forward to that. A lot of good things coming up before the season starts as well, so you want to stay tuned to Believers Talk. Again, I look forward to talking to you all soon. Until I do, go Bills. And we know that summer is here just this week. Of course, summer officially started. If you look at my description below, I am an Amazon affiliate. Guys, down there, I have a link for some new swimwear. If you are a Buffalo Bills fan and you want to wear swimwear, you want to represent Bills Mafia when you're at the beach, look in the link below. Buy yourself some new swimming trunks with the Buffalo Bills all over them. No one will question who you're a fan of, and it will look pretty cool in the summer heat. So again, hit that link below. Even if you're not looking for Buffalo Bills gear, if you're looking for something else, a present for someone's birthday, whatever it is, click that link. Really helps out the channel, helps me out, and I appreciate it. So again, thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, and thank you for helping out this channel. I always appreciate you guys, and I look forward to talking to you all soon. Until I do, go Bills.